it can be tough to promote self-care. So in this video, we're going to share with you 5 ways that teachers can promote self-care among students, as well as 3 ways that administrators can promote self-care among their teachers. By the end of this video, you're going to have some actionable strategies that you can start implementing today to help your school prepare for virtual learning. In case you haven't already checked it out, after you watch this video, you're going to want to check out our Back to School Resource Hub. In it, we provide a ton of free resources and how-to guides that will help you in your transition to distance learning. We go over topics like how to build relationships virtually, as well as how to conduct virtual parent-teacher conferences. Be sure to stick until the end of this video because I'm going to share a pilot opportunity that your school can take if you're looking for extra practice resources. Without further ado though, let's get started. The first thing we need to tackle is how do we actually teach self-care to students, especially when we're teaching remotely? Our first tip is to make sure that we are creating virtual social-emotional learning activities. SEL activities force students to focus on their own emotions, their empathy for others, their goals, and more. Pathway to Success has some SEL activities that can be translated online and used with your Google Classroom as either an assignment or as an online journal reflection. The second thing you can do is you can start to have a daily virtual reflection assignment. This can be set up with your Google Classroom to simply have some time dedicated for students to check in with themselves. Have your students write a paragraph or 2 reflecting on how they feel that day, what they feel they could improve upon, as well as what's going well and not well in their personal as well as their academic lives. This will allow your students to have a space in which they can actually reflect on what's going on as they deal with this distance learning situation. It can also open some doors for you to make it easier to forge meaningful relationships with your students over the course of this school year. A quick Google image search can help you find some example self-care prompts that you can give your students to start reflecting today. The third thing you can do is encourage your students to incorporate self-care plans into their everyday schedules as well. As important as it is for you to be guiding them, it's important to also give your students the independence to form a self-care plan that works for them. This could be as simple as including some self-care primer questions at the bottom of each reflection. You could ask questions like, who will I connect with today? When will I get into nature today? How will I move my body today? What am I grateful for today? Or how will I be creative today? Asking any of these questions will help you guide your students towards creating self-care routines of their own. It will also allow your students to start thinking about self-care in a personal and meaningful way. The fourth thing you can do for your students to help cultivate self-care is to share self-care related multimedia content. Having a weekly stream of video content related to self-care can provide an outsider voice in terms of promoting self-care with your students. These sorts of sources should emphasize the importance of healthy living. It could be things like TED Talks, How to Adult, or the School of Life videos that can provide your students with tons of self-care tips as they navigate this difficult time. It's really important that you incorporate diversity of thought and perspectives when you're talking about self-care, just so that your students are actively looking for additional places to go as they create their own self-care routines. What you don't want is to just be promoting self-care that's a reflection of what you personally value and not necessarily what your students value. The fifth thing you can do to promote self-care amongst your students is to share reflections of your own teacher self-care routines. You can do this through your Google Classroom by simply writing some short reflections on different things that you're incorporating in your own self-care routines. By taking the lead on sharing these sorts of experiences with your students, you're also encouraging them to do the same because they will see you as a role model in this sense. By having this public log, you'll also provide your students with additional resources that they can turn to when they're thinking about what sort of things they can incorporate into their own self-care routines. If you're getting value out of this video, be sure you hit that like button below and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can get notified whenever we release a new video like these. We're providing a ton of free resources when it comes to distance learning to hopefully help educators like you navigate this time of remote learning. Now that we've gone over 5 things that teachers can do to promote self-care amongst their students, let's transition to talk about 3 things that administrators can do to promote self-care among their teachers. The first thing an administrator can do to better promote self-care among their staff is to assemble and share teacher self-care surveys. Create a self-care survey that allows teachers to share what's working in the classroom, what's not working, as well as any healthy living routines that they're incorporating into their lives. It's also helpful to include questions in this survey that go over ways that you could be improving the work culture as you guys shift to this remote world. The University of Buffalo's Social Work Department has a self-care assessment survey that you might find useful. Just simply by checking in with your teachers and sharing the pulse of the school can be a great way to demonstrate to your staff that you care and that you're trying to create a conducive environment for learning and teaching as we navigate these moments of distance learning. The second thing that administrators can do is hold a virtual prize raffle. It's no surprise that teachers, like many others in the world, love to get free things. So think about offering things like Amazon gift cards for classroom supplies or a Starbucks gift card for encouraging your teachers to take a break. Simply by offering these sorts of incentives for your teachers can show that you're there to support them and that you want them to stay engaged in their work. The great thing about gift cards is that they can be shared virtually regardless of how far apart you are from your teachers. The third thing admins can do to promote teacher self-care is to make sure that you let your staff know that you are open to one-on-one meetings. It's really important that you reach out to your staff and your faculty to show that you're there to support them if they need you. By doing this, you're demonstrating that you care about them at an individual and personal level. In a mass email or weekly newsletter, just mention to your staff that you are open to a one-on-one conversation on anything that might be personal or professionally related. It might take you some time to do so, but by taking this time, you are demonstrating that you are 100% committed to helping your staff be successful in virtual learning. If you found this video helpful, be sure that you hit that like button below to help this video get discovered by more educators. If you haven't already, be sure to check out our Back to School Resource Hub in the link in the video description below. In it, we provide a ton of how-to guides and resources that you can use to help you in this transition to distance learning. Lastly, if you're a teacher or an administrator looking for extra practice for your students, check out Albert. We provide thousands of practice questions as well as detailed explanations to help your students master difficult concepts. We also grade automatically for you, so it can be a great way for teachers to differentiate instruction. By using the link below, we'll prioritize your pilot application, which will allow your school to try Albert out for itself. There's no cost involved, it's just our way of trying to see whether or not we could be a good fit for you. That's it for this time though. If you haven't already checked out our other back to school videos, be sure to check those out on our channel. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time.